Alright, I'm going to start off with saying Shalom. I, of course, want to give all praises unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Yahweh who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Um, I'm not sure what I'm going to entitle this video, um, but I was just having a little conversation with some people in the comment section not too long ago, and about, a couple different people. I'll go over certain different topics. Um, but really, all of these things revolve around, you know, how people were trained to think. Okay, if you're brought up a certain way, the odds are you're going to believe that your entire life. Okay, because that's just the way you were raised. Okay, say for example, a lot of people who are Muslims, why are they Muslims? Because they were raised Muslims. Okay, that's why. Um, that's just what it is. Say for an example, why people are scared of the dark. Okay, it's a normal thing for a human being to be afraid of dark. Even an adult is, you know, uncomfortable. I guess suppose is a good word. In dark, right? We all would rather be in light. And why is that? Is it because we're just scared to be scared? No, it's because, throughout human history, man, was always, had a sense of dark because in the dark, you don't know what's in there. Okay, there could be danger anywhere because you can't see it. So your brain always has, you know, just biological, in what's the word I'm looking for? Basically extends down through history. Okay, from our ancestors to ourselves, there's always that little fear of darkness because darkness means unknown. Okay, in the darkness are the creepy creatures of the darkness. Inside joke, right? The creepy creatures of the darkness. Uh, but I mean, yeah, that is true, right? The creepy creatures of the darkness are in there, right? Who the hell knows what's in there, right? That's why people are scared of dark. Even a grown ass man might still rather be in light rather than dark. It's not because one develops the fear of it themselves, but it's just rooted in human biology to have that feeling. Another feeling in human biology that is the topic of debate that I've spoken about before is the whole age of consent issue. Okay, because it's rooted in human biology to, oh, I don't know, have sex when your body becomes, physically capable of doing so. And it has been that way for, thousands of years, or in other terms, since the beginning of mankind. But you see, in these guys' minds, oh, well, that's wrong. Okay, well, why is that wrong? Well, you see, I didn't really think about that. Um, it really just goes back to how they were raised. They were always raised and said, they were always told, well, you can't do this till this time. Okay, why? Why can't you do it to that time? Well, you see, I didn't really think about that. That's really what they're saying. You see, they believe it, but yet they're not capable of explaining why they believe it, nor can they prove how it is true. It's just social customs. Say, for an example, the people who used to live on the ancient, Hawaii, right, or even the Aztecs in, America before, it was founded as America. The Aztecs used to sacrifice people by, bringing them to the top of the altars and, cutting their heart open and, you know, offering up to the gods, right? A beating heart. And why do they do it? Because that's just their tradition. Or tradition, Slovakia. Slovakia if I stutter. But it is what it is. Alright? Hey, Moses said, I'm not a man of much speech, but the Lord still used him. Anyway, um, yeah, you have that. And why do they do it? Because that's just their tribal custom. That's just their culture's traditions. Okay? Another one, as I was mentioning, the volcano god. Okay, the volcano god. The Hawaiians used to throw people into the volcanoes. Why? Because if they didn't, the gods would be angry at them. Now, if you ask them, well, how do these gods exist? How can you prove to me that they exist? Well, you see, I don't know. Why? Because it's cultural customs. Now, we look at those people and say, yeah, those people were crazy. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. We got the same fool who says that. They'll say, oh, I don't know. They'll say you don't become an adult till you're 18. Okay, so why don't you become an adult till you're 18? Well, you see, I don't really know. That's what they're saying. But yet they'll fully insist that it's true. Yet they themselves can't prove how it's true. That's like me saying, oh, I don't know. Let's see, what can I make up? Damn. Oh, I know. That's like me saying that unicorns exist. Okay, why do unicorns exist? Well, you see, I don't really know. I mean, doesn't that sound silly? But yeah, that's what everybody believes. That's what everybody believes. They believe what they believe because they believe what they believe. I'll say it again. They believe what they believe because that's what they believe because that's what they believe. Okay, they believe that. Side joke. Alright, it just all comes down to early indoctrination, as you can see on the picture here. It comes down to how a person is raised. Okay, that's why, certain cultures, they can, teach their people, certain styles of life, and then those people will stay with those customs, and they'll, teach their offspring, the same ways. Okay, and a lot of the time, if you ask those people, well, why do you believe that? Why do you guys practice that? And it always goes back to, well, you see, that's how we were raised. Okay, that's just our tribal conditions, or not conditions, traditions. Slovakia. So and the same thing is with Americans. Okay, that's just the way they believe. Okay, say for an example, do I have the right to rob you? And the answer is no. Okay, so if 1,000,000 people sign their name on a piece of paper, does that give me the right to rob you? Okay, it doesn't. And they'll say that. So if 1,000,000,000 people write their name on a piece of paper, does that give me the right to rob you? The answer is no. Okay, so how did Congress get the right to rob people? And you see, they can't answer that because they got themselves in a trick bag because they said 1,000,000,000 people can't give me the right to do it, but magically a bunch of rich people who signed names on a piece of paper gave this other man a right to rob somebody else. So you see, that's called utter hypocrisy, is what that is called. And if anybody didn't know who made that quote up, that was a man by the name of Larkin Rose who came up with that little, trick bag question. But it's true, though. If you guys look up on YouTube, look up a video by Larkin Rose that's entitled I'm Allowed to Rob You. Give that a watch and you'll see what I'm saying. But why do they believe that they have to pay their taxes? Why? Because that's their traditions. That's what they were taught. They were taught in school to obey authority, right? Obey the ruling class. Okay, well, why should you? And you see, they are not prepared or prepared, Slovakia. They're not prepared to answer these questions because it just goes by made up belief. Another one. Let's say drinking at 21. Why can't you do it at 20? And you see, they don't know why. They just say, well, that's the law. Okay, well, what is the law? Then, they really don't know what it is. And when in reality, it's simply a scribble on a piece of paper by a rich man. I say you will do this or I will hurt you. That's what it is. Anybody says otherwise is a damn fool. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Just by simple logic and common sense. It's utterly ridiculous, but that's just the way these people think because this is how they were raised as children. They were, raised to, say for an example, if you tell a child, don't go into that room because there's, I don't know, the boogeyman's in there. Or, oh, I don't know. Uh, what could one say? I don't know, there's hot lava in that room, right? Or there's damn, uh, I don't know, door to hell in that room. Inside joke. Um, you know, they'll end up getting a fear to not open that door. Now, in reality, what's on the other side of it? Probably a safe or something. Right, something of much value. Right, or probably, probably dad's, porn collection on the other side. So that's why I don't want to go in there. But anyway, I digress. That's irrelevant. Um, the point of the matter is that the child is most likely, 90% of the time, not likely to go in. And even when they grow up, they might still believe that. Right? Or always remember, yeah, the parent don't want me to go in that room whenever you visit their house, and probably avoid it. Right? Or if they do decide to go in at some point, because they obviously know, yeah, there ain't nothing in there. Right? Just tell you that to scare you. Just like with Santa Claus. With Santa Claus, right? Everybody, taught their children that there was, this big man who, delivers presents and, whatnot. And everybody, all the kids believed it. Right? And it's the same thing with the globe Earth, but I'm not even going to get into that topic. That's for another day. Um, but the point of the matter is, you can train anybody, anything that you want, if you get them young. Okay? It's just the way it works. Right? You start indoctrination from a young age, because that's when the mind is developing. So if you teach it certain things, it's going to believe it. That's just how it works. So, I just want to elaborate on that from, a discussion I had earlier. Or as what's that guy, as D. McClung would say, people never seem to amaze me. Inside joke. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little video. You can, take it as, whatever way you will. I just wanted to speak about that real quick. But anyway, I'm going to say shalom.